Okay, you guys have to see this letter that physicians got from the FDA commissioner about Tylenol use in pregnancy, because it is wildly different than the tone of the press conference or what's generated in the headlines. All right. So first of all, this letter came from the FDA commissioner, who is a physician. He's Trump's appointee, though. He's like Trump's guy. He was at the press conference yesterday. And here's the letter. It is like so muted and so neutral. It's just wild. A second paragraph says, to be clear, a causal relationship has not been established, meaning that although some studies have shown an association, there's no evidence that one causes the other, that Tylenol during pregnancy causes autism. There is no causal relationship established. And then in addition, there are contrary studies in the scientific literature. Okay, so backing up, we have some studies showing an association, some not showing an association, and nothing showing causality. Okay, so what do you do with that as a physician? Well, they guide us here. You want to see what they say? They say clinicians should consider minimizing the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy for routine low-grade fevers. I highlighted the low-grade fevers because that's not a term that we use as physicians, and this is a letter to physicians. So it's kind of odd. You either have a fever of a temp above 100.4 or you don't. This is like a term that the general public uses. So I read this to say in a non-fever situation. So again, our guidance is to consider minimizing, not getting rid of, but minimizing use of acetaminophen during pregnancy when there's no fever. That's something we do anyway, right? We just say like minimize your over-the-counter medications, right? So this is like what we're already doing. And then it goes on to say, this consideration should also be balanced with the fact that acetaminophen is the safest over-the-counter alternative in pregnancy among pain relievers and meds that help with fevers. So I read this sounds to me like continue current management. So we have this big announcement, this build up to this press conference, and all these headlines to basically say, as you were, like, continue what you're doing.